You step outside your peaceful home on a crisp Saturday morning, and there's a stranger with a chainsaw in your backyard. Not a city worker, not a neighbor, a man you've never seen before, slicing away at the trees you planted for your dead son. You ask him to stop. He smirks. He says the HOA sent him. But what he didn't know is who you really are and how far you'd go to protect your home. What happened next got the man arrested and brought the HOA to its knees. Daniel Knox had money, success, respect. But all that meant nothing compared to what he lost 5 years ago on a rainy December morning, the day a drunk driver ran a red light and took the life of his 7-year-old son, Caleb. Caleb loved trees. They'd plant one every year in their backyard. Daniel called it Caleb's Forest. It was their tradition, their healing space. Their silent prayers stood tall in the soil behind the house. So when Daniel moved into the Maplebrook gated community in Georgia, clean lawns, pristine sidewalks, and a micromanaging HOA, he had only one request: leave his backyard alone. The HOA never liked Daniel's trees. Too tall, they said. Casting shadows, they whined. Daniel sent polite emails, made calls, even offered to install a fence. The HOA board, made up of power-hungry retirees with too much time, ignored him. Then it happened. On a bright Saturday morning, Daniel walked out with his coffee and froze. A man in a neon vest was in his backyard. A chainsaw roared in his hand. "Hey!" Daniel shouted, storming out. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" The man looked up with a smug smile. "HOA sent me. Trees too close to the fence, just trimming." Daniel's heart pounded. "That tree was planted for my son. You step back from it right now." But the man didn't care. He revved the saw louder. "I've got orders." Daniel's mind flashed. Caleb's tiny hands holding a shovel, his laugh, the first sapling, the last hug, and now this stranger violating his peace, his memory, his son's grave in green. He picked up his phone and hit record. "You have two choices," Daniel said, holding the phone steady. "Turn around and leave, or deal with the police." The contractor laughed. "Man, I'm just doing my job. They've got written authorization. You can take it up with the HOA." Daniel didn't flinch. "I am taking it up with the law." He called 911 on speaker. 911, what's your emergency?" "Yes, this is Daniel Knox. There's a man trespassing in my backyard with a chainsaw. I did not authorize this. I have video evidence." "You said he's trespassing?" "Yes, no gate access, no permission. He's cutting down trees planted in memory of my son." The dispatcher went quiet for a second. "Officers are on their way." The contractor looked rattled now. "Come on, man. You don't have to do all this." Daniel's eyes were steel. "You didn't have to step foot on my land." Minutes later, police rolled up, sirens off, calm approach, but serious. The contractor tried to explain. "I was told by the HOA." The officer cut him off. "Did you have written consent from the property owner?" "No, but..." "Then you're trespassing. Drop the saw." The man was cuffed. The neighborhood watched from behind blinds and porches. Whispers spread. Phones recorded. HOA members peeked from their SUVs. But Daniel? He stood silent, holding his coffee, watching justice root itself like the trees behind him. 3 days later, the HOA sent an emergency notice. "We regret the incident. The contractor was acting independently." This was a misunderstanding. But Daniel wasn't done. He showed up at the HOA meeting with documents, Georgia trespassing laws, property ownership rights, and most importantly, a letter from his lawyer. He stood before the board, room packed, residents behind him. "My son died 5 years ago," he began, "and the trees you tried to erase are his legacy. You don't have to understand it, but you will respect it." One HOA board member tried to interrupt. Daniel lifted a hand. "I built my company from zero. I fought hackers in global courts, defended Fortune 5s from ruin, and now I'm standing here, not as a CEO, but as a father. If any of you think I'll let you violate my family's peace again, try me." The room was silent. By the end of the week, the HOA president had resigned. The contractor filed a complaint against the HOA. Daniel's neighbors started planting trees of their own, quietly, in solidarity. One old man knocked on Daniel's door. I lost my daughter too, 20 years ago. Thank you for standing up. Daniel nodded. No words. Just a long, shared silence between two fathers who understood. Sometimes trees are more than wood and leaves. They're memory, love, and you never ever send a chainsaw where a heart once bloomed.